What's up YouTube? Capital G here. Today I'm going to give you guys a quick guide on Dark World, why I think the deck is going to be good tier 1 and why I'm telling you you have to watch out for it now because it's going to be everywhere. My title, Path of Corruption, actually goes back to when I first started playing at the regional circuit. Dark World was the deck that I was using. I like the fact that you could draw with Graceful Charity and then drop a whole bunch of cards onto the field or draw even more if you discarded Brown. It was just a deck that I fell in love with. So I think that Dark World is kind of like Six Samurai, where you can just sense that something big is upon us. It's going to be good. And there are 3 reasons why I think the deck is going to be so prevalent and why I think it's going to be so successful in this meta. That would be the boss monster, the resistance to meta and anti-meta cards that people are playing in the format, and then the draw support and the speed that the deck has. First, we'll go ahead and we'll start with the boss monster. Everybody knows what that is. That's Grapha. You have to like the fact that Grapha is just, it's what Rainbow needed to be. It's very easy to summon. It has a much better destructive effect, and it's easy to get off. Anytime you discard it, you know, you get to blow something up. It's not limited to monsters or spells or traps, and that's what really makes it good. It's that if there's a back row that you need to get rid of, you just pop it with Grapha. Or if your opponent has that monster on the field that's locking you down, like that Artsword Christia, you can easily just activate Gate of the Dark World, blow that bitch up, and say you mad. Get your Grapha on the field. The second thing about Grapha, and the more important thing, is that he's just ridiculously hard to kill. Taking into consideration the fact that when Gateway or when Gate is on the field, he's a 3000 beater. The fact that you can just normal summon a Dark World, put it back in your hand, and get Grapha to the field is ridiculous because DD Crow and Bottomless Trap Hole don't really see any play in this format, to be completely honest. And what people need to understand is that returning that Dark World to your hand is not a cost, and it's not something that happens at resolution. It's just part of a summoning condition, or that's basically how Konami has worded it. It's just a summoning condition. So if you Solemn Warn that summon, that Dark World stays on the field and you can just activate it again. It's kind of like Vayu and Royal Oppression, if you can remember back when that play was really prevalent. Next, we're going to talk about the resistance to anti-meta and good meta cards in the format. Effect Veiler and Max C are basically everywhere because one stops your opponents from going balls, walls, special summon on you. The other will stop a very key monster effect that your opponent, you know, really wants to get off. Well, unfortunately, neither one of these cards is, in my opinion, effective against Dark World. You have to look at Max C as it's a card that stops really bad things from happening, whether it be like your opponent trying to abuse Tengu or Venus or go synchro summon crazy. Dark World's hardly ever synchro, so you're losing effectiveness there. And outside of Tour Guide Brow, summon Grapha plays, that's pretty much the biggest special summoning they're gonna do. For the most part, the deck just kind of just sits on Grapha and just, you know, will use him as a beat stick and a shield and to do everything until you kill it and then just resummon it again. So you're not going to get this deck to special summon a lot. So Max C's effectiveness is really going to be limited. The same thing with Effect Veiler. In fact, some Dark World variants even use Skill Drain to cut off the effects of Plant Synchro and Venus and hurt that deck even more. You know, if they have Graph on the field or they have their beat sticks, it's kind of like Blackwings. We don't really need our effects to win. So Effect Veiler, outside of stopping Tour Guide, is really not going to do anything. The same thing can be said about Mind Crush. Very limited uses. Outside of hitting Gateway, you don't want to hit any of their monsters because it's just going to bite you in the ass. So Mind Crush does nothing as far as stopping the search of any of their monsters. But all you basically can hit off of it is Gate. Same thing goes about Thunder King. When Gate's on the field, Beige and Snow can just crash with Thunder King, and then you can remove those Beige and Snows to draw cards. So your Thunder King's not really being effective. The same sense that you can just simply summon those cards, get Grapha to the field, and just run over Thunder King, or you can just discard Grapha and blow Thunder King up. So again, Thunder King is not something that's going to stay on the field very long against Dark World, but if Dark World sided against you, it can be very effective. And then the last thing is the speed and the draw support. This was something that the deck was missing so much. I mean, you're only going to have so much effectiveness when you just have Dark World dealings and Drag from the Grave. But now that you have Gate, which is, in my opinion, it's like the Black Whirlwind for Dark World because it just adds pluses and pluses and pluses. and every single turn the deck is going to be drawing an extra card. Discard a Brow, you get to draw another card. Discard Grapha, you get to blow something up. Discard Beige, you get a 1900 to the field. So you're getting draws, but you're also getting that nice bonus effect too. Tour Guide being created basically gave the deck even more deck thinning and more speed, because if you have Gate on the field and you have Tour Guide, you instantly have food, but you can pull your Brow straight from your deck, you know, so that maybe you can use it to summon your Grapha, or you can just, you know, make like Leviathan, pop your Tour Guide, remove your Tour Guide, you know, and then start drawing extra cards. So Tour Guide is something that it made the deck even better and faster than it already is in Japan, where it's already doing good things. And then Snow is what gave the deck consistency. It's like the Dark World basic, or the Dark Soul for Dark World. I'm sorry, a little bit of a tongue twister there. Snow is what gets your deck rolling. It gets you your Gate and it gets you your Grapha, your 2 key cards, you know, that basically set up your win condition, beat the shit out of your opponents. I would say Dark World, it kind of feels like the new Blacklings, where it's like it's a really slow control deck, but once it gets its field set up, it doesn't need its effects to win anymore. You know what I mean? Like it has its big ass beat sticks on the field, and it's kind of challenging you to counter its plays. So I think that Dark World is going to be an amazing deck for the format. It's insanely hard to side against. Don't just give me that Shadow Imprisoning Mirror bullshit, because in a format with 3 Heavy Storms, or excuse me, 3 Mystical Space Typhoons and a Heavy Storm, continuous spell and trap cards do not stay on the field that long. So I will be making a anti-meta or a anti-Dark World video soon enough. I have to have more testing against the deck. I played against it a few times. I still don't feel great about my odds. I feel like if I can outrush them, I can beat them, but that's not a consistent answer, and I'm not going to make a video just saying outrush them and you'll win. So thanks guys, look out for that video, and when I figure out how to consistently beat Dark World, I will let you know.